back, my friends. It is Friday, the 16th day of December 2011. I'm your host, Alex Jones. I'm going to finish up the point I'm making about the total tyrant takeover that's taking place. And then I'm going to continue getting into some other issues concerning the political campaign that's happening in this nation. But just now when I said the total tyrant takeover, I hesitated because tyranny is just a word. Tyrant, traitor, treachery is just a word. The killing fields of Cambodia with a third of the population killed and giant fields full of skeletons, that is just words. But to experience being shot and killed, the whole families, to experience what Hitler did, to experience what Stalin did, to experience what all the thousands of tyrants have done throughout history. And to see this system reconstituting itself, a system of evil, wicked people ruling over us, to see it massing, and to see the technocrats not just eating around the edges of the Bill of Rights, Constitution, common sense, basic freedom, and to see the United States now a devil on a hill, not a light on a hill, but a evil antenna broadcasting destruction. To see that happen, and to see how corrupt and decadent the general public is, the United States is going to turn into a tyranny the likes of which the world has never seen. Imagine what a Hitler or a Stalin could have done with this country if they controlled it. And that's basically what's happened. And these globalists can't help it. I mean, they're going to take private bank accounts. They're going to euthanize old people. They're going to shut down alternative media because we're exposing them. They're going to start giant new wars. They're going to blow stuff up and blame it on foreign enemies. I mean, how could anyone in their right mind not know that government stages terror attacks when Gladio's been declassified, Operation Ajax, Gulf of Tonkin, Operation Northwoods? If you're a new listener and don't know what these things are, write them down and research them. I don't have time. There'll be a good football game this weekend with the Broncos and the Patriots. That's what's really important. The male soap opera. Okay, great. Watch the football. But this is not a time to be doing that. And having a simulated combat that you watch and, oh, your team won, so the week ahead's going to be great. Real evil is massing. And everything we've seen so far is just probing and beta testing. As the real onslaught starts moving, it's going to get more and more intense, faster and faster. And you're already seeing that. I mean, 80 of the inventors of the internet, the engineers, the admitted inventors, the software developers, many of these people, billionaires, have even come out and said, look, this is the end of the internet, the end of freedom, a global worldwide treaty. That's what this bill is in line with the treaty, to allow the total shutdown of anything selectively and the militaries of the world domestically running the internet and hacking it up. I mean, I read to you the quotes. And then all that's going to be allowed under the Internet 2 system, the establishment calls it, is certain corridors and maybe 1,000 sites or so that themselves are owned by university governments and a handful of Fortune 100s who then have sub-sites, and then you have a sub-account with them, and then you waive all your rights to be on that. And other domains, goodbye. Talk radio, goodbye. Goodbye to all of it. You're like, they'll never get away with that. Oh, yeah? You just watch. You wait till Al-Qaeda, working with a militia, and I know that doesn't make sense. Why would right-wingers work with Al-Qaeda? It's not going to be real. But you wait till they blow up a big building in Chicago. You just wait, and it won't matter if it's one owned by Larry Silverstein again, like the Chicago Sears Tower, formerly Sears Tower. It won't matter how obvious it is. They could have the government there with blasting plungers doing it. I mean, they put the drugged underwear bomber, CIA does, on the plane. It comes out in congressional testimony, and the Congress is like, oh, so the government put him on the plane. All right, let's move on to the next point. Oh, and you don't know where the money is, Corzine. Let's move on to the next point. Oh, look, federal court, government declares national security, admits they ship drugs in and control major cartels and are fighting the other ones. And the government shipped the guns into Mexico to actually help kill those cartels and blame the Second Amendment. Let's just move on. Thank you, Mr. Holder. You won't be getting in any trouble for that. And I could just go on and on with how it's just in your face. You know, I talked about 12 years ago. And even Bloomberg came out, and AP and Reuters last year, and said there was a deal in 1999 where the top insurance companies met with the Justice Department and the Department of Veterans Affairs, and they were given an internal executive memorandum from the Department of Defense and from the president, at the time it was Bill Clinton, that they could start taking death benefits from the widows and widowers of service people from World War II through current. And they just and the people are supposed to get their insurance, and they get a letter saying you're not getting it. Sorry, this new code. And then it's never even in the news. And then it comes out, and people are like, hey, I don't care if they're taking veterans' death benefits. I'm just going to stick an American flag on my car and run up to people in uniform at the shopping mall and go, oh, I really support your service. Thank you. And it's all like this little fake sick thing they do. You know, for most people. I mean, if you supported their service, don't stick them down a meat grinder. Don't let them breathe DU and not get treatment. Or let the government use DU without proper decontamination and clothing. Don't let them be guinea pigs for experimental vaccines. Actually know about the military.